Ladies and gents, boys and girls, you guys don't know what time it is. It's yours truly, Mr. Funkadelic Jones. I had to bring out the glasses because I'm back. I had to put my hat to the back because I had to bring somebody on the show, and she a Cowboys fan. This is an old school Redskin, so I had to turn this joke to the back. Yo, welcome to the Ghetto Wealthy Podcast, man. You guys can check me out on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow me on all my social media platforms at Funkadelic Jones. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys, if you're listening, you got Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm on iHeartRadio. I'm everywhere, boy. About to blow up. But like I always say, enough about me. We got a special guest here with me today. We got my homegirl Luna in the building. You know what I mean? Hey. We ain't allowed to call her by her government name, so we just call her Luna. You feel what I'm saying? We just call her Luna, okay? We can't. You gotta be a special type of individual to call her by her government name, so we just call her Luna. Luna, how you living, sweetheart? How you doing today?
How we doing? We doing good, good. Little hot, little humid, but we're getting through the day.
What's she doing through the? First of all, she got the blonde streak, black streak. What we got going on here with the hair? What's up with this? What we got going on here?
Outside,
Okay. Listen, first things first. I want we had this conversation all the time. First of all, we gotta always shout out Luna's hometown. Man, Bronx stand up. You know what I'm saying? The Bronx, y'all stand up. New York is in the building, but on my side, y'all already know PG, y'all stand up, C Pleasant, we in the house. You dig what I'm saying? From the inner Deltway ghetto, you dig what I'm saying? And I call this ghetto wealthy because, like I said, just because we grew up on spam and noodles don't mean we can't live lavish. I'm just saying, just because we grew up on spam and noodles. But hey, let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. And first things first, the people want to know. The people want to know, just in case I got any fellas watching my show. Is she single? Is she single?
Nope, I'm married to my career at the moment.
She said she don't need no man. You don't need no man.
Just a little busy, that's all. Nothing against my men. I love the balance, masculine and feminine energy always. But as of right now, gotta, get everything right with this legalization going on. Got a lot of moves to make.
She don't want y'all, fellas. We ain't got no chance. We don't got no chance, fellas. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, fellas, don't say I ain't put y'all on. I'm just saying, man. I'm trying to do my job here. That's all. But speaking of that, let's go ahead and dive into the cannabis industry because you are a cannabis connoisseur. You know the information, the ins and outs, and the ropes. I had to throw on my Verano shirt just for this special episode here anyway. So, but first things first, we already know a lot of people always see the negatives about cannabis. You know what I mean? Especially growing up in the hood, we just think it's weed. You smoke weed, you deal weed, you deal drugs. We all know it's. I mean, I'm being real with y'all. I'm being real in this show. It is what it is. We think the negative, but there's a lot of positives about cannabis as well. No, break down some of those positives. Like shoot away some of those negatives because a lot of those naysayers like, oh, weed is weed, drugs is drugs. Nah, shoot. We want to hear some of the positives. I'm gonna let you touch on some of the positives, effects, and all that about cannabis. The floor is yours, Miss Lady. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. No, definitely. Even though, a lot of people smoke back in the day and stuff like that, like we was all actually medicating. You know what I'm saying? Like if we had a stressful environment or stressful situation, we would go and grab some herbs, smoke it, feel better, roll it up, pack the bong, whatever was your forte, So we was kind of like, using it to medicate ourselves and stable that depression, stable that, sadness that we have. Because the ultimate goal of like cannabis, of weed, right, is to keep our body in homeostasis. So we want to find a nice balance for our body, and our receptors in our body actually ask for cannabis. So to be able to find that perfect balance and have those receptors filled, we do actually, our body, we can technically say our body technically ask for cannabis, ask for THC, ask for CBD too. It's not just the THC, it could be like the hemp as well. um, Definitely helps people, with I have a lot of patients with cancer. It's very like inhibiting like for the cancer, so it doesn't allow it to spread. It helps people, like, I mean, personally myself with insomnia, like I can't sleep unless like I do like roll up and be able to fall asleep afterwards. So there's a lot of medicinal properties. I mean, eating it, if you have any like GTI issues or anything like that, eating it can definitely help that out, help your body digest certain foods that you may think you can't eat anymore. But in reality, it's just we are not getting these receptors filled to be able to digest this right. So
Damn,
just some little things.
I just learned a lot in 5 minutes, boy. I'm just telling you. Yeah, I learned a lot, boy. I'm trying to tell you. But so for those that don't know, and I'm gonna let her explain better than me because I can't tell you. But there's a lot of things, such things called terps. Now there's multiple terps to it, but I want you to go over some of the terps and like the effects of which one it is, and the effects of how they pretty much process and how they work though. Like give the people some of the terps, and you
Oh,
know what I mean.
one's bringing up the terps. Okay, you know what you're talking about over there,
I
huh?
tried. I tried.
Nah, you're doing good. You're doing good. Terps, I like to call them the ingredients of cannabis. For real. Kind of like when you whip up like some fresh toast, you grab an egg, you grab some milk. The terps is kind of what makes all that up. It gives you that skunky flavor, that gassy flavor, that sweet flavor. But as well past like just the superficialness of like the flavor and the look of it, what it does to your body. I mean, like you said, these natural terpenes are found in everything. Like limonene, you can find in lemons. Myrcene, which is one of my favorites. I'm an indica girl, and for all my indica people, shout out like that couch lock, super important. But that myrcene is what makes you have kind of like that couch locky feeling. So that actually comes naturally produced in mangoes. So you eat a mango even right after you smoke an indica, you'll have an extra couch lock, and that's why back in the day when we used to smoke, people used to say, "Oh, you know what? Drink orange juice and you're gonna feel like the high a little bit more." And that's because these natural terps are found in like the weed. So when your receptors are filled, let's say you don't have enough from like your herb, if you go and you add some more, orange juice or some more vitamin, basically B12, then you're over there kind of like hyper bouncing off the wall, feeling your high extra hard, and it's because these natural terpenes come in other foods. So we could eat these foods and boost our high. That's a real thing.
That's crazy, and I love orange juice too. That's crazy. I love orange juice. Y'all been telling me I don't even smoke. I've been getting high on orange juice all this time. That's
But it's not, yeah, I mean, we have like herbs, we have teas that we make. I'm about to make my green teas brewing now, to have that energy. You know all about green tea, Mr. Jones. We talked about that.
I try.
So,
You know, y'all know I do green tea, but my green tea gotta have Lipton sugar in there. I got actually criticized though, and shout out to my family. You know what I mean? She like my aunt though, man. I love her to death, but
hmm.
she was like, she said she drink her green tea with nothing in it. I said I couldn't do it. It is terrible. But at the end of the day, I love her because she like my aunt though. You know what I mean? She been all the family functions. You know, shout out to her, man. You know what I mean? She was my New Orleans tour guide too when I was down there on the bayou. You know, I was down there on the bayou.
Oh, and
Country as it is out here. But you asked my question in the process while you was talking because I was about to say, I was like, now we all know that there's sativas, indicas, hybrids. I was like, which one do you prefer to lean to? But you said you lean towards indica, which is like that slump feeling. Now that slump feeling though. Now, for those that don't know, that may not endure in cannabis, you know what I mean? I want you to break down each level, like indica, sativa, hybrid. Like, what are the effects of like all three? Like, what could all three effects kind of give you? You know what I mean? Because I'm more a sativa guy myself. I got to be up now. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, y'all. But
nice little hybrid, a nice balance. You already uppity sometimes, and sometimes I feel like you need to like come down. But I think a sativa would do you good too. But getting into that, definitely sativa gives you kind of like that more heady high, kind of more creativity, that giggliness. All cannabis is going to give you giggliness. If if you don't use it, you don't need that. You make everybody laugh all the time. But sativa definitely nice heady high, get things done throughout the day, keep you focused. It helps again with people who have like ADHD and stuff, depression. Sativas are really big for people who have depression. That natural limonene found in lemons that we talked about, that giggle juice, the way I like to call it, super smiley, have you go out and be like, whew, like miss the sunshine out there. So that's the sativa, keep you nice and uplifted, help you go throughout the day. If you are dealing with issues, you may not want such a sativa. If you have like an imbalance emotionally, if it's like a psychological issue, always talk to your physicians. We are not physicians in the cannabis industry at all. What we can, this is a new herb, it hasn't been studied enough. So, if you have any questions, of it affecting your medication, please talk to your physician. But then you have a hybrid. So a hybrid kind of gives you like a nice in between. We talked about the indica, nice couch locky feeling, relaxation throughout your legs. I've had patients who have diabetes who have like neuropathic pain, and like they lose feeling in their toes and stuff. And being able to smoke these indicas, they've told me magically when their doctor said that you are not going to be able to get feeling in your toes again or in your legs or in that foot, they start feeling stuff again in that foot. They start moving, they're wiggling their toes. Um, so definitely helps with neuropathic pain too, and relaxation all throughout your body. A nice hybrid is going to have kind of like the best of both worlds. So you're gonna have kind of that uplifting feeling, but at the same time, you're not gonna be too jittery. So if you feel like certain sativas make you a little too jumpy, because again, there are certain terpenes that can interact and make you feel like you drink 3 cups of coffee, and then you're just like, oh my god, what do I do with myself? So if you kind of want a nice hybrid to go throughout the day, definitely you can look into that. It gives you a nice heady feeling but nice body relaxation as well. But a good food for thought nowadays is everything is basically a hybrid. This is not like the 70s where we had our original strains. So most of our cannabis nowadays, I follow this gentleman called Steve D'Angelo, one of my favorite writers. He started the Prisoner Act in California for people and especially of color who have been locked up because of cannabis, to have that taken off their record so that they can get government and federal jobs, because this is a natural herb. And like again, like the prejudgment with this herb is heavy. A lot of people say this is the devil's lettuce. What else? It's just everything that they say, like potheads, stoners, they don't do nothing, they just lay around, they just trying to get high and eat everything. Yes, food tastes very very good, but believe it or not, there's even certain herb that helps, certain cannabis that helps you not eat, things that are high in humulene, which is actually found in hops, which makes beer. So there's terps all around us. If we could, we might have to have a session, Mr. Jones, on just terps, because I'm telling you, it's a lot.
Now I want to go back. You said it was that giggle juice.
The
You said,
giggle, yeah. the
well,
the
hey, y'all know the old saying: if you can make her giggle, you can make it jiggle. I'm just, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
a little jiggle jiggle and we good, though.
Hey, if y'all can make her giggle, you can make it jiggle.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm just. Okay. All right, y'all.
we're keeping it PG. We're keeping it PG. Okay, let's keep PG.
Who said this show was PG? We just try not to go all. We try not to get too crazy on it. Now, I know I'm gonna have a little fun on here, but I want to dive into like how would somebody who wants to get into the cannabis field, like how would somebody go about that? You know what I mean? Like somebody would, if somebody would come to you, Luna, and be like, "You work in the industry. How could I get my foot in the door in the industry?"
As of working wise, or as of like being a patient?
Shit, at this point, working wise, patient, if you want to work at the growth facilities, all of that. We
Mm.
doing everything at this point.
Uh, don't go to your local weed man. Go to a dispensary. Go or do some research on Google. You know what I'm saying? Definitely talk to your people that if you've smoked with them before, have conversations with them about the industry, see what they think, because different perspectives are always important. But I would say you want to go to like a professional, you want to go to somebody kind of like, I've been doing this for 5 years. Before this, I mean, I grew in California and stuff as well. But, all I knew about terpenes was looking through a microscope and seeing that it was amber. And I was like, okay, my flowers are ready to be picked. You know what I'm saying? Going into detail, going into the ingredients, the terpenes of cannabis, you definitely get that at your dispensary. You can Google. There's a lot of stuff on Google, but if you want to fact check things, please go into the dispensary, talk to your local bud tender, let them kind of walk you through the process. It's super simple. You kind of just go online, you register for your card, you Google, cannabis doctors. I just helped a patient do it actually while I was at work. We did it in 15 minutes. He ordered his card. He went and he Googled the doctor. He called the doctor. Doctor gave him the certification. Didn't even have to go in. No paperwork needed to prove, that you have insomnia, you have depression, or any of that. Um, and boom, you were able to be a patient and be able to start purchasing in the industry. So that's to be able to purchase. Now to be able to become a bud tender, I would recommend, experiencing and messing around with different strains, cannabis strains, so that you can kind of have a little bit more knowledge. I always think, this is my personal opinion, experience trumps all. So one, I can sit there and read everything all day about terpenes. It tastes like this, it's like this. But unless you actually go and smoke the herb or eat the herb or whatever, whichever way you consume it, um, then you'll actually know the effects, because you'll feel it yourself and you'll be able to give them your personal opinion. But we have to also keep in mind that is my personal experience with cannabis. I have different receptors that need to be filled. I like that couch lucky feeling. You may need that happy sativa giggle juice.
Like I said, John, you need that giggle juice. If you can make her giggle, you can make it jiggle. I'm just saying, fellas, go ahead and get you that giggle juice for her, Lord. And both of y'all smoke. Hey, it's gonna be a lot of magic being made that night.
We got certain strains for that too. For there's, women, as we get older, y'all stress us out sometimes more and more. And I'm sure we stress y'all out more and more as the years go by. It's an even balance. But let's say your man's driving you crazy at home. You want, you're feeling nothing, but you have the need to want to do something, but you're not getting the physical reaction out of it. It's not a waterfall. You know what I'm saying? We have stuff for that. Let's say you got a spaghetti as a man. You know what I'm saying? We have something for that, of course. And you don't have to smoke it. You can literally eat this, candy. It's called Smash and Passion. Yes, it is. But so, and that actually gives you a nice little boost. And a lot of people, I personally have never experienced any other type of like drugs or stimulants like that, but I've had patients come in and be like, it is like ecstasy. So just put that out there. There's stuff for that too, boo boo. There's
Fun, fun fact, though, guys. Fun fact. When you go in the dispensary, no, we ain't all just sitting in there smoking weed, okay? We ain't all just in there just getting high on the clock.
no.
It's just good right here, boy. Hey, you said you coming in here. That's not what a dispensary look like. Some people think that's what it is, but we gonna move on that. Now I got a little trivia question for you.
Mhm.
Just top 5 favorite brands, top 5 favorite strains.
That's
Go.
different. Me, myself, and I. No, just kidding. Cannabis, you're able to grow it now in Maryland. So, Stay tuned. No, I'm just kidding. But definitely I don't know if it exists anymore, but Purple Haze, Granddaddy Purple, kind of like all your purples, right? Definitely right now I would say like Mag Land Race from Verano. I'm not sure, they bring it out here and there, super high quality buds. You're dealing with land races, so these are more difficult to grow and kind of have a bigger terpene profile, so a lot more relaxing, and able to fill your receptors a lot more. Gelato, of course, you're wearing the nice gelato shirt from Verano, another Verano people. Uh, Gelato's delicious, nice hybrid. Go throughout the day. And then if you actually go get some gelato, it tastes amazing as well. So gelato is real, real good. I think I have one more in there. I'll have to go with District Cannabis. They're kind of new right now. They are coming from DC. And
Hello, DC.
Woo, shout out. Yes, DC is where I first started my studies on cannabis. So, I love DC. I love everything that they do. They're now working with like hallucinogens and like mushrooms and stuff, so all that, stay tuned, that should be looking really good. But yeah, District Cannabis, super good. Another pro tip, please, my people smoking your herb. If you smoke it and your ash is not white, your cannabis is not clean. A lot of these industries rush. I was also worked at a grow at Curio. Um, ooh, that's all I'm gonna say. But make sure your herb is clean. Make sure it's white, and make sure that you're not smoking toxins or nutrients that they're putting in this, because the industries are looking to industrialize. So if you can get your hands on some seeds, I'm gonna say less.
Hey, DC chilling, PG chilling. My name Funkadelic and I came to get him. That's what I just said.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But now the biggest question is cannabis is either already or is going legal in the state of Maryland now. Now here's my thing about it. I always tell people this. First of all, Maryland, I love y'all because y'all my hometown state. But y'all so slow when it comes to things sometimes. I'm be real with you. Because what people don't realize is the DMV moves as a unit. Okay? We all move as a unit. Whatever Virginia do, we gonna do because DC gonna do. We all operate the same. So how in the hell is that DC went legal? First of all, Virginia went legal before Maryland did, which threw me off completely. Because if anybody ever been to Virginia, I love y'all, Virginia, but y'all got some strict laws in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go across that Woodrow Wilson Bridge unless necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that DC, I mean, I already seen DC coming, but Virginia went legal first. And Maryland, y'all went behind Virginia. So what I want to know is, how do you feel about cannabis going legal now? And do you think it's going to help the industry by any chance, or is it going to hurt the industry by any chance? Especially the Maryland market, because the Maryland market's been medical for so long.
Oh, so like you said, I mean, these are big, big points, and of course, that genius mind of yours, is always going wonderful questions. I mean, honestly, it's questions that I have myself still at this point. I can answer them behind the scenes a little bit because I am in the industry. What it's done for the industry, legalization. So first of all, let's take it back. Let's start all the way from the beginning. The legalization process, right? Rewind. But legalization process, yeah, that was really annoying. We are legal in the state of Maryland as of my birthday, July 1st. So super best birthday present for me. I'm being selfish. Yes, I am.
Oh,
Super happy that we were able to do that in the industry, but yeah, the fact that our growing laws took so long to come here to Maryland, DC was able to start growing, of course. And why is that? Because they don't have much land in DC. Is it true or not true? There's certain places it will cost you $1 million or 1.7 to have a backyard and to have a nice front lawn. So being able to capitalize as a yourself owned, self made being in the cannabis industry there will probably be like close near like impossible, because you won't have the space to be able to do that. You'd have to rent out a space, kind of like how these dispensaries do now. They have to have their cultivation centers and stuff. Um, so of course they gave DC the able to grow. So it is a complete business. Our economy is dropping, people. Our economy is the lowest that it's been because of COVID, because people weren't traveling, people weren't going out and shopping and stuff like that. So Virginia. Ooh. Okay, I'm back. Virginia decided to legalize. They decided to be able to allow to have grows and stuff like that before Maryland. That was a hit to the gut for us Marylanders. I'm here in Maryland now. My home's always the Bronx, but we're here in Maryland now. And not being able to grow your own cannabis here in Maryland, but you're able to in Virginia. Now, Virginia has the land, but didn't really have the spots to be the dispensaries to be able to have it. So they kind of looked as Virginia as kind of the cultivation place, but not really able to sell it. So they both had different things where they could put a stop on them. Now Maryland is in between both of them. Maryland has suburbs. Maryland has cities. Maryland has places where they're able to have a little bit more space to be able to cultivate this cannabis and be able to do it yourself. So that's kind of why they put a stop on us. Long story short, taxes. Now they're able to tax it. I've seen the taxes. I cash out people all day, every day at the dispensary. I see the taxes and I see like how medical patients have a wonderful, discounts and wonderful prices for their herb, and how the recreational patients have to pay crazy amounts to be able to get the same thing. I mean, almost double sometimes, guys. I am not messing with you. When you talk about percentages, like, okay, 20 medical gets 20%, recreational gets 10% discount, right? Just starting there. Hold up. But your recreational people are also paying taxes on their herb. So that 10% literally starts to feel like they're only getting like 2% off, because for the same price that the medical patients are getting at their 20% off, recreational patients can only dream of getting that. And that is because of the taxes put on it.
Hey, yeah, well, y'all know me. Like I said, hey, it pays to make it jiggle. So it pays. It pay. Hey, fellas, if you want to make it jiggle, you're gonna have to pay those taxes. You feel?
Or
Man,
you can always just go get a medical license. That's what I tell a lot of rec people, especially people that come in like, use herb all the time, and they actually have like issues. They're like, or artists, I've had so many artists come up. I'm a writer myself, but I've had like painters and musicians come in and talk about like, how much cannabis they use to be able to produce. It's kind of like their muse. They don't need like a physical like man or woman as a muse. It's their cannabis that's their muse. Now, if they're smoking that much herb, they're going to be spending that much money. Honey, you might as well get in the medical field, please. Like, come into the medical side, be able to get your discounts and be able to get your herb the way you should be getting it, and pray that maybe you get a seed, right?
see, this is why I say, guys, that first of all, and this is not me. Like, I'm not censoring nobody or anything, but this is why I tell people that Virginia, the DMV, we all work together because let's be real, people buy weed in DC, go back to Maryland and smoke it. Like this was Maryland. Like people, that's why I was like, that's why I was trying to figure out Maryland. What took y'all so long? I think y'all do know people just go to DC to go get it, and then come back across that state line. Now they don't smoke it in public. They smoking in the comfort of their own basement. You know what I mean? They get that couch feeling, that indica. They just lean back and relax. But hey, I'm more of a sativa guy myself because I need my creativity. I'm just playing. Y'all don't smoke. Look at everybody talking about some shit. Hey, but we can match. We ain't matching anything around here.
Gonna say deliveries for sativas like up and down. It could be like, Luna, what do I do with this? Don't do that. Don't do
can't do it. Can't do it.
It's all money. It's big pharma, basically. a lot of these cannabis industries were legitly, I cannot say, because I did sign a non-disclosure agreement with the last place where I was working. I cannot say which industries, which cultivators and owners were actually paying lawyers to keep people, especially of color, in jail for cannabis offenses. So they were really, really big on keeping them because they were able to capitalize on that money versus now the state is capitalizing with these taxes. You see what I'm saying? So these dispensaries have to bring down their prices to be able to still make some money and be able to bring people in and not lose all the customers because of the state's taxes. So it's all money. Money speaks.
Man, it's crazy. Listen here, guys. As we about to come to a close, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pass the mic to her. Listen, whatever you got, business wise, anything. Whatever you're working on. I'm gonna let you go ahead, plug it in right now. Let the people know what you got going on. You got any websites? You got any like I said, product you selling? You got e-commerce, whatever it is you got going on. Go ahead and tell the people. Like we can go ahead and ride out to the sunset on this as this show comes to a close. But what you got working on? Let the people know. Talk to the people.
Well, big on infusing foods. Please keep an eye out. I'm gonna definitely have an encyclopedia of cannabis, which will be free for people, hopefully within the next month. For people who are more interested in knowing this in a more medicinal aspect. Like, all the way from cancer to a normal stomach ache, in there. So please keep an eye out for that. Follow me on Instagram, LunaElla146. There's going to be a lot more things coming up for my business. I make salves, lotions, tinctures, and infused foods. So keep an eye out because a lot more things are going to be posted on there.
Damn, that's crazy. I just got one question for you guys. Y'all got infused cocoa butter? Because, I'm black and black people like cocoa butter. Cocoa butter.
You know what? That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Everything I make though is with shea butter, black castor oil, and coconut oil. So completely natural. I'm a herbalist outside of this. So, contact me if you need to know anything about herbs that, you can pair. You can actually smoke herbs to boost your high as well, like, lavender and stuff like that. So please message me if you have any questions at all. Hat down to this amazing podcast. I listen to it all the time. And, Mr. Funkadelic Jones, you are top of the line.
I appreciate it. I try though. Hey, but before we get out of here, man, I just want to let everybody know, man, appreciate y'all hanging with me. We brought special guest Luna in the building. She threw it down with the Turks, the information. Yeah, I hope y'all had y'all notepads. I forgot mine in the other room, so I couldn't even grab mine, and I didn't want to walk off in the middle of the information. But it was a lot of information being given, so we appreciate you coming through, rocking with us. It's been a blessing, man. Like I said, I learned a lot. I hope everybody else learned a lot. And like I said, man, if I ever get a chance to come up with a strain, I'm calling that jiggle juice because you guys already know what time it is. Hey, if you can make it, if you can make her, oh, I'm sorry, not the jiggle juice, the giggle juice. I'm sorry, because if you can make her giggle, you definitely can make it jiggle. Holla at your boy, Funkadelic Jones, man. Hey, I'm out of here, y'all, man. I'll see y'all next time. I'm gone. Peace. Oh,